I'm just going to do a recording. Yeah. I'm just going to do a quick video on so basically like a little my little realizations that I've come to. So sometimes I struggle, and when I struggle, I have to write myself down like a little plan. So I've been struggling to stick to plan recently with my kind of new changes in my lifestyle. I took the car's gone back today, so we no longer have a car. So it's just going to be adjustment to different lifestyle, and so it kind of was veering me off path a little bit. So I made myself like a little piece of writing, basically just to chat to myself about what was going on. So this is just a video based on that. I'm just sort of basically swapping over the washing and putting the new washing in ready to have that go. It's quite late, it's already 9:30, and I still need to do the cannelloni and the chilli and such, but I'm quite good at that now, so it won't be too much. But I shall have to watch find a film or something to watch on YouTube, or just to plug myself in, you know, for an hour and a half. So I thought I'd just do this video while I'm swapping over the washing. So I will just read out what I've got here, and mostly just to see if any of it resonates with you, to let you know what's going on with me, so that if there's any things that you're experiencing as well in the same sort of way, we can help each other. Okay, so at the top I've got, why can't I be bothered to stick to plan right now? Because that's what it is. It's not that it's hard, because I know how to do it. It's not difficult. I know how to do these things. It's all very simple. I know how to do it. But the bolster eating and such has got the better of me in a variety of different ways. So written it down. So I've got life events recently. So my life changes. I've got stopped the gym membership. So that's something that will stop now at the end of next month, because of the fact that I had to give you kind of a month's notice. You have to give them a month's notice to do it. So that's going to finish at the end of April. So that's a change for me, because I was getting quite into my classes. It was a good way of making sure I was getting my right amount in, and I was beginning to see some progress, and it was a really nice thing to do. So that's going to be a challenge, because I'll have to do the same things at home in my own environment and find my own ways to do it. So there's a bit more motivation, having to, you know, personal motivation going to have to happen in there. I've got chilblain, so as exciting as that is, got a chilblain on the end of my big toe, which meant that it was quite uncomfortable to walk for a few days. So I sort of dealt with it with Germolene and plasters and such, but that made me feel a little bit sad and run down, you know, a little bit. You know, when you're not very well, you feel a bit miserable, don't you? I've also got, it's been cold for ages, so it's been just cold for, it just feels like it's just been cold for, you know, I wear sort of two coats. I wear like an undercoat and then a bigger coat on top, and it just felt like I was just wearing them, you know, just not being able to just kind of go outside without kind of dressing for, you know, the Arctic sort of thing. And so I think after work kind of gets you down, doesn't it? And you just kind of get fed up of always being cold. So other things, made a choice to tighten up the budget. So we kind of, our life changed because we made a choice to stick to a tight budget, so that then we wouldn't face any unexpected problems financially. We write every single thing down now that we spend, no matter what it is or no matter how small, so that we can really keep a really close eye on it. Both me and my partner do, And obviously if we buy anything for the children, it all gets written down so that we can really keep a really tight eye on it. Because although it's kind of annoying, on the other hand, it's more annoying not having any money. So, and the fear that comes with not knowing how much money you have, or not knowing if you can afford your rent, or not know, you know, that's not a fun activity. So that's one of the things that's happened. And I also started drinking caffeinated coffee because of the stress levels of things, and I just felt like I needed a boost, and I didn't want to do the boost via food. And I knew that if I just do the boost through coffee, then it wouldn't put on the extra calories. But of course, the downside of starting drinking caffeinated coffee is the fact that then eventually you end up with sugar cravings. It just happens because you're up and down, and you can do caffeinated coffee a little bit, and it's a great little boost, but it drops you at some point, and then eventually the sugar cravings kick in. So they were the life events recently. I've got here I've also written here as well, martyrdom setting me on a path of self-destruction. It's not even that bad. I'm gaining far more than this change than losing. So I was starting to experience the bit where, you know, poor me, isn't it terrible for me? Aren't I hard done by because I don't have a car? Aren't I hard done by because I don't have a look at these pants. I washed some pants and they weren't in the door and it hadn't been put across. I might put them again because otherwise they go a bit damp, don't they? They're not too bad, but better for them to have clean pants, isn't it, than old damp pants. Yeah, I was starting to get on that path of martyrdom, and then that was sent me on a path of self-destruction whereby I didn't really care what I was putting in my mouth. Not really. I didn't care about the process, and then that was becoming more complicated and tough. Because the point was, is it's not even that bad. It's actually, I mean, it's a really good choice. I'm gaining far more than for this change than losing. It's a far more positive process. I'm gaining kind of ability to spend more time with my children, because walking means that you can chat more. I'm just getting all the sand out of this. You can tell it gets warmer because the kids are allowed to play on the field, and then on the field there's a sand pit, so everything just is totally filled full of sand. You just like get a little. This is the time of year where I have to, after I've done this washing bit, then just have to sweep in front of the washing machine because of all the sand, and all the sand gets in the filter. But it's quite nice, isn't it, really, having all their joy that they have, and finding sand means that they're happy. Yeah, so I'm getting way more interesting enough with our parking space now. We've put our bins now so that we don't have to keep putting the bins out each week, so they don't rot in our garden, which is, you know, that's another positive. So there's loads of things that's really good about it, apart from the financial aspect, meaning that we've got more money now, and we get an opportunity to start saving now instead of just living hand to mouth. I've got here trigger points. Feelings of deprivation, in terms of feeling like I can't have any interesting foods anymore. I have to limit down what I'm buying. I can't be just impulsive and, you know, just go and grab some fruit, or I have to think properly about what I'm going to have so it's all there for the week. And if I am going to get things, it has to be cheap fruit, and I have to think more about what I'm having, and I can't just eat things, and I have to ration stuff and all of that business that makes me feel a bit deprived. Bolster eating, having coffee instead of eating sugar. So that's that's a trigger point, because bolster eating, I suppose. It's bolster eating, it's wanting more energy. So I end up, what's that? That's just a feather. I don't know what was on that sock. look like a bumblebee. So yeah, and so obviously the bolster eating, I was trying to have coffee instead of eating sugar, because firstly I didn't want to add on the extra calories, but also sugar doesn't really have the same effect anymore on me, but coffee really does still have a very nice boost, but it's not really sustainable. I've got using lack of money as an excuse to eat any leftovers and to eat all the old food that's been in the cupboard, but realistically I should be rationing it, so it is just an excuse to overeat, and all the food is still able to fit in a Slimming World lifestyle, so there is no reason why to come off plan. So that's an example of oat cakes that I've had in the cupboards, you know, lots of bits of scraps and things. It's all Slimming World friendly. You can eat it all within, you know, it's all quite low sin and or healthy extra, and there's lots of different pieces, but my brain's just kind of used it as an excuse to eat all of the things. And actually it would be really helpful if I kept it, because then I could have a little bit every day. But my brain did not want to do that. It just wanted to use it as an excuse to eat it all. So there's sometimes when your brain's in that mode, there's not much you can do, is there? You just got to let it do its course. And I know that the reason why I was doing that was because of the coffee, because the cravings kick in and the coffee's there, and it, you know, it's a bad cycle. I've got, why is it making me unhappy? And the reason why it's making me unhappy, well, I've got a bit over this now, so this was what I was feeling then. I feel bloated. Did you do when you overeat? I feel uncomfortable. I feel lacking in energy. So what happens with me with coffee is that I drink coffee to be a mood booster, and then what happens afterwards is that I get a drop. And if I drink coffee for more than 3 or 4 days, I start to lack enthusiasm. I start to be uninspired, and I start to I just can't be bothered. I just don't really care, and a lack of care arrives, and I presume that's the drop, because obviously you get the boost from coffee. So when you come off, you know, when it drops, then you just can't be bothered. And unfortunately, in my lifestyle, I can't afford to not be bothered. I need to be bothered all the time. I build in my rests, but I need to have enthusiasm to do anything. And if all I need to do is bring up the energy, then that it comes easily. Ever since dropping sugar, it's very easy to find the energy to do things. Whereas when I drink coffee, it starts to dwindle, it just goes away. I've got no interest in getting my jobs done. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't even matter to me. Whereas it needs to matter to me. I do not have the choice whether it matters to me or not. I need to be able to want to do it. So coffee has to go. And I don't want sugar cravings. I do not want a position where I'm hunting the house for sugar. That is not fun. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes the bit where you're like, what? I mean, I don't have anything in my house that is sugary, because brought it all out, but as soon as like the sugar cravings kick in, the brain's like, what can I have? What can I have? What can I have? What can I have that's even vaguely like sugar? You know, sultanas, the apricots, prunes, and dry. You know, they're all fine, aren't they? But only in moderation. Really, you want to have your healthy extras worth, or a few sins worth, and leave it at that. So I do not want the sugar cravings. That's no fun for anybody. So I've got here ways to fix it. So I've got here make sure the decaf coffee is hot to drink, because I thought maybe the decaffeinated coffee is the way to go, and making sure it's nice and hot, because sometimes decaffeinated coffee is a bit miserable, not really interested in it, whereas if it's nice and hot, it's a bit more enjoyable. So I thought about doing that. And play the piano. So what has been happening is, because I've been doing no more television for the kids after school when they came back from school, because my son was getting a bit addicted to it, and he wasn't coping well if I switched it off, and I thought it was mean to him really to kind of, I've got to get him, you know, other ways to feel the joy and feel the ability to relax rather than just watching telly. So what I used to do is while the kids were having their tea and watching a bit of telly, I'd just go off and play my piano. But because we're not doing that anymore, you know, I'm sitting down with them and having my food while they're eating their tea, I don't get to play the piano. So I need to fit in a routine whereby I go and play the piano at some point in the afternoon when we all come back, because that helps me kind of not bolstery. It's a really relaxing thing to do, and it really helps me. So I find that it's a really good thing to do, and I need to build that back in. I've also got exercise in the mornings. Exercising in the mornings now, because obviously I'm not doing the gym anymore. I need to find a way in the morning to do a bit of stretching, like 20 minutes or so. I'm not going to do a full hour like I would do as at the gym, because it's in the morning, and ideally I get up at 6 and I'm going to have a few exercises until 20 past, and then I'm in the shower. I don't really want to be getting up by 5:30 to do all that business. So I'm going to do 6 o'clock, just have some light stretches and maybe some weights, and just some kind of sun salutations and those types of things each time in the mornings. I'm going to do it every morning apart from Saturday morning, and it's not going to be too intense each time. On a Monday morning I'm going to do a run, and that's after I drop the kids off to school, because on a Monday I'm not going to work straight away. So I'm going to do that on the Monday. But just to help me, so I've got exercise in the morning so that boosts my mood for the day, and keeps me topped up emotionally. And the other thing to add to all of that is another bit I wrote a bit later, which is all about the fact that after I wrote that, I decided that what I was going to do is drop the decaffeinated coffee, because decaffeinated coffee is always a mild letdown when what I really want is coffee. So I decided that maybe it would be better to not have decaffeinated coffee at all and move to rooibos. So I didn't really like rooibos, but I've tried it with almond milk and I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to do rooibos and almond milk. And I wrote myself another little piece here about, I said, decaffeinated coffee is a gateway drug to caffeine. Caffeine is the gateway drug to sugar. Sugar is a gateway drug to overeating and binge eating and secret eating. Because eating doesn't give you what you need anymore, you are searching for other things. A swig of vodka to take the edge off. Yes, I did do that one day. I forgot about that. It was, what was it? That was a terrible day, wasn't it? It was a Monday. And I needed to do, was it Monday? One of the days I needed to have a lot of energy and a lot of capability and a lot of ability not to worry about things, because I think I was in quite the midst of the worry of it all. And I did. I found some vodka, I had coffee and I had vodka, and it's so unusual for me. And I think I remember that bit when that was the point when I was like, this is not going well, because I'm not just after something. I'm after something to boost me, and nothing's working. I mean, it's all working temporarily, but it's not working long term. And I've written here, eating never gives you what you need, because what you need is task time balance. You need rest time, piano time, nap time. So the task time balance in terms of the amounts of tasks you need to do and the amount of time you have, and making sure that that's a nice balance. And eating and bolster eating is never eating, and drinking alcohol. It is so weird, because isn't it? I never ever drink alcohol. It's only just obviously when I'm at my worst edge that I need something else, and the eating and the coffee is not working for me. I try and desperately look for something else. But yeah, it's never going to give me what I need, because what I need is something I should have already done. I'm trying to cure it, and nothing can be the cure. It has to be the prevention. So all I have to do is ride out a couple of 3 days of letting my brain get back to a nice level and sort things out. You sort things out so you have a nice balance. Now, Mondays are always tough in the evenings because I have a lot of cooking to do. But the reason why I do it all on one day is so that it's easier for the rest of the week, because it's even harder for the rest of the week if I don't do the cooking on the Monday. So one late night on a Monday is far better. It's far more worth the then I don't have to cook it on the Tuesday. So when I come back from school on Tuesday, all I've got to do is rice and hummus, and that's it. Nothing else, because I've already done the chili. It also means I've got lunch for Tuesday daytime because I've got the cannelloni. So I've done lunch and I've done dinner already on Monday. Then the chili's already there again for Friday. And that's my partner can have his tea, which means when I come back on Friday I don't have to cook another dinner. Everything's already cooked. And also the other half of that chili is there for him on a Saturday lunchtime. So it's me cooking the chili allows for, it was also Wednesday lunch, because the chili then is Tuesday evening meal and Wednesday lunch. So it's, and also both of them produce a bit of leftovers, which allows me to have leftovers in the fridge, so that when I come home from school I've got something just to immediately eat if I'm getting hungry. So it's an incredibly good part of the week that if I didn't do it, then it would make the whole week just not work. So it's, although it's, and that's about the task time balance. I can push out here so that I do not have to push out later. But what I need to do to myself on this Monday is be calm and relaxed about it. Don't worry about it. Normally my partner would have been putting the kids to bed at bath time, which is around 6ish, and I then start cooking the chili. But today his back was very sore, so we did a lot of walking today, because we dropped the car off at the place and then we walked to the train station. So it was quite a long walk, so it's a lot. So I'd said I would just put the kids to bed, because I know what it's like when you've got your back is incredibly painful when you get like a muscle. It must pulled a muscle. He did do very well, because he pulled it a couple of days ago, and he did do all of that sorting the car out thing, and then walked all the way, back to the train station, then walked all the way home, etc. And then also went to pick up our daughter. Well, I picked up our son, and I took him to dance class, and he took our daughter home. So he looked after her and fed her and stuff. So all I had to do was look after Benjamin. So it's okay really, because obviously then you want to support, but it does mean it's quite late. So normally it wouldn't be this late, but it's quite late. But it's worth the effort. But anyway, that's the point is that it's the task time balance. Eating never gives you what you need, because what you need is task time balance. I cannot eat that. I cannot, there's nothing, the reason why I can never find anything to satisfy that is because that is not a consumable item. It's a completely different concept. The two things are not the same thing. So no wonder it never works. Okay, so that's what I'm at the moment. My thing that I've changed in my routine, just to help me out and help me just smooth out myself again, so I'm back on no more cravings, is I'm having rooibos with my almond milk, and that allows me to have a hot drink, but doesn't act as a gateway drug to caffeine, because I just don't need to go there. I'm going to get far more energy, far more capability eating well and sleeping well than I am from caffeine. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So I'm slowly working my way back to being on plan. There's nothing particularly that I'm sort of being crazy off plan with, but I'm just struggling counting again. I'm struggling making my videos. I don't seem to have any time to make my videos. I'm struggling keeping track of what I've eaten, and I'm struggling I'm kind of just struggling getting back into the swing of things. Nothing I'm eating particularly, now I've cracked the caffeine thing, nothing I'm eating particularly is kind of over the top, or I'm kind of not secret eating and I'm not comfort eating, and I'm not I'm just not prepared, if you know what I mean. So I was, for instance, today I was hungry for tea, very starving, and I had a bowl of raisin wheats and some oat cakes with some peanut butter on, but I didn't weigh the peanut butter and I didn't measure out the raisin wheats, and so I'm nearly there, I'm getting there, but I'm not quite there yet. Today I weighed 10 stone 6, so I know that, and the day before that I weighed 10 stone 5, so I know that I'm still in the ballpark figure of my target weight. So I weigh myself every day, and I can see that I'm not kind of putting on any weight, which is a good thing. So obviously the kind of Slim and Well principles are still holding true in my head in terms of they're keeping me more or less where I am. So I'm just maintaining, which is fine by me, but I'd rather do it via Slim and Well plan than doing it ad hoc, because you just can't be sure of how long that will last. You might, So that's where I am at the moment. And yeah, just change your lifestyle really. I'll keep you all informed and let you know how I'm getting on, and hopefully I'll be able to kind of get back to doing my what I eat in a day videos as life sort of starts to settle down a little bit. We'll be up on our half term soon, so it'll be more tricky, but just, yeah, it's all just a bit busy at the moment and a bit stressful. Yeah, okie dokie then. I think anything else I've got in here to show you. No, I think that's it. Okie dokie then, I'm going to put the washing on and I am going to go and make some chili and cannelloni. See you later everyone, lots of love, bye.